Good morning, Reds. It's John Gibbons and Craig Hannan with big smiles on our faces. The sun is shining. Liverpool are in a great position to go through to another Champions League final. And if that wasn't enough, the Liverpool journalist pool, all them lads and lasses all got together and just dropped some loveliness on us this morning when we were least expecting it, Craig.
It is the best news we could have possibly hoped for, isn't it? Because we've all been, I'm not going to say readying ourselves, but we've been worrying. It's been in the back of our mind. Like I think my concept of time is now, how long is it until Jurgen Klopp possibly leaves Liverpool? And today's news means that, hopefully we're able to sort of tie him down for longer. And it's the news we've all wanted and hoped for.
Yeah, it's the biggest signing Liverpool could possibly make. Forget about new players, forget about contract extensions for the likes of Salah. That'd all be wonderful. But Jurgen Klopp, and this is why I make no apologies for Craig for saying this at the top of the show before even a Champions League semi-final win, because all this is possible at the moment because of Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
So this is all happening. The fact that we're going for the quadruple, the fact that we're all saying this is the best time we've ever had as a Liverpool fan is, it's not all because of this man, but it's a lot because of this man. So the fact, if they could tie him down for longer, and the fact that he's given some encouragement apparently that he would like to stay for longer, it's just the best news for this football team and fucking dreadful news for everyone else.
It really is. It really is. He's built this. He has given us times like last night and some of the best times of our lives, and most of them have been this season, by the way, which is the madness of it all. And you're right. Look, if he was sitting here, he would say, no, it's not just about me, it's about the team he surrounds himself, and it's about the footballers. But he's brought the footballers in, and he's created this culture within the entire football club that means all of this is possible, and we all believe that it's possible. And I think that's been the key thing for him from the moment he walked in was the doubters to believers thing. But now we're at a stage where a Champions League semi-final first leg win just feels run of the mill. It feels as if we've gone in there and it was always going to happen. And I thought Liverpool were brilliant last night. They were so good. But that is the level we are now at, whereby a Champions League semi-final, there's no longer an uphill a hill to climb for us. It's not, we're not up against something and having to fight for it. We're now the best and the favourites, and we showed that last night.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful football team that he's built, and I just wonder how much of that, as well as the exciting future that Liverpool got, is all part of this decision, because these players are playing to new levels all the time. The team's just getting better and better, and he must be looking at that and thinking, what can we possibly achieve over these next few years, and how he wants to be part of that, really. And you look at the performances of Diaz and Konate, who are two players who haven't been at the club. Diaz is a few months, Konate 6 or 7, and the levels that they're playing at the moment, the ages they are, what's to come in the future. And then, even let's remember the opposite, forget Carvalho coming in the summer and people like that, someone like Harvey Elliott, who's still a huge star, all these young players. It must be for him going, well, why would I pass this on to someone else?
It'd be like working for like a week on a jigsaw and getting to the final pieces and then letting some other fucker finish it. There you go, lad, finish that off for me. Absolutely not. But no, yeah, I think you're right. I think the fact that, I wonder whether he could have even foreseen this. No. He'll have dreamt of winning the European Cup for Liverpool. He'll have dreamt of winning the league for the first time in 30 years or whatever. That will have been his aims. But to watch a football side of this calibre, whereby everything that surrounds the first 11, whether it's the players on the bench, whether it's the young players coming through, whether it's the players we're about to sign, whether it's the players that we're attracting interest, or possibly the players that we're trying to bring in at the minute, because I think I've got a theory here that...
Oh, go on.
I've got a theory that this news is coming out now because Liverpool are in talks to try and sign someone big. And it's based on nothing, by the way. I'm not ITK at all. I'm just, this is just because I'm thinking, well, if you're a new footballer that you're looking at this side and you're going, fucking hell, and you're looking at the crowd and thinking, I'd love to play for them. You're looking at these nights and these moments, I'd love to be part of them. But Jurgen Klopp's at the centre of that, and he's potentially leaving in 2024, and Liverpool are able to say, well, actually, it's going to stay on for another few years extra. Then that footballer goes, yeah, I'll do it. That's my theory based on absolutely nothing.
No, I'm into it. I think what's interesting, and this also supports Craig Hannan's theory, is that it says at the end, which is a bit unexpected here, The news with it brings the potential of a huge boost before the final month of a remarkable campaign, with Liverpool's next game coming at Newcastle. And I'm like, I didn't think they were talking about this quick. Do you know what I mean? But Paul Joyce there is talking about this giving a huge boost to Liverpool for the end of the campaign. And I was like, I thought you meant like in the summer or something. But they're talking now, which suggests that, you know, that maybe something big is happening.
Yeah, I just have this. I always wonder when these stories come out, why now? Why the time and now? And quite often in the past, Liverpool have put out a good news story because it's been a bit of a shit time and fans have needed it. And now there are no shit times.
No,
there are only
no
good times, John. There are only good times. And so, like, I'm thinking, well, I didn't need even more good news now. Do you know what I mean? Because I already feel top of the world watching this football team. So why are they letting this news out? That's just, it's my theory and it's based on nothing.
No, it is quite possible. It's quite, you know, I think it makes sense for big players especially. And it's interesting, Paul Joyce talks about Tchouaméni in his article and talks about how they're looking at him and how Real Madrid are interested as well. So if he's someone who's weighing up those options, you know, the fact that Jurgen Klopp signing an extension would be another tick for him, as you say, along with everything else, the footballers he'd be playing with, the crowd he'd be playing in front of, and all the positives of playing for this Liverpool team at the moment. So there is sort of something in it, but I just feel for Jurgen as well. He's just enjoying himself so much. The article talks about last year and how tough that was for him personally, and you know, we know about what happened in his personal life. Obviously, we know what happened to football, and we know what happened on the field for Liverpool and the injuries and how sort of tough it was, really. And you could see how much it was affecting him in post-match interviews and things like that. Whereas this year, he just seems completely reinvigorated. He seems to be absolutely loving it. The fist pump seems to be hard. You know, the stuff on the touchline sort of even more animated and things. And I don't know, sometimes a change is as good as a rest, isn't it? And I wonder whether a couple of years ago he's thinking, I'm going to want a break in a few years, where he's now is like, do you know what, I had that break when I was sat in Formby and it was shite.
yeah. And also, we always talk about like how Jurgen Klopp loves, like, you know, holidays, and he loves, like, he's talked in the past about football not just being the only thing in his life. But when it's this good, you know, when it's this good, why would you want to walk away from that? And I think in terms of I think the pandemic's an important thing here to talk about, because I think, you know, a lot of people in their lives will have reassessed things within their lives based on what was happening at that time. And at that time it was shit. And life was shit, and, you know, football was shit, and everything about it. And he might have been looking at it and thinking, you know, look, I've had these things going on in my own personal life. I've had a shit time here. Maybe another couple of years, and that is me done with this. But then it's come back, you know, with a fucking bomb, and it's going to end up being the best season of our lives, whether we win it all or we win one more or whatever. You know, it's just been that, and for him it's been the same. Him and the players are continually talking about enjoying themselves and enjoying these moments. And if he signs on for longer, then, you know, we're going to have many more years like this.
Claudette's got a theory as well. Claudette says, I might be wrong, but could this be what Salah wants? I have a niggling feeling it's this. And that's an interesting one as well, because Salah's talked a few times about, it's not about money. You know, everyone talks about the money element, but it's about sort of more than money. And a few other people have put that to mean, well, he's saying, well, who are we signing and what's the direction and stuff. But he could be asking questions about Jurgen Klopp as well as a footballer. You know, would you know, if you've got 1 year left and the manager's got 2, are you going to sign up for 5 necessarily if you don't know who's going to be managing him? Because that's a big thing for him, because he's had managers believe in him and managers who haven't, and he knows Jurgen Klopp knows how to get the best out of Mo Salah.
Absolutely, that will obviously be a massive part of this. I think I often think it's unfair on footballers when they are trying to negotiate new contracts, and like some footballers have a bell end for an agent, but, you know, I often think it's unfair when people just say, oh, it's about getting 400 grand a week. It's not about that. You think of your own job. You want to know the direction of the business that you're working for. You want to know who you're going to be working for. You want to know what their plans are for the future, not just for you, but the entire team, and how they're, you know, going to continue this progression, this upward progression that we're seeing from Liverpool. I think that'll be a massive thing. I still don't think it's just about Salah. I still think it's about a big signing. I've convinced myself. Everything feels so good at the minute that I just feel as if it's just going to keep going.
I mean, listen, if we win the quadruple and sign Mbappe, like, I'm not sure.
Well, I wasn't saying Mbappe.
I'm saying, don't know. it's a pants-free summer, isn't it?
Fuck yeah. It's a pants-free summer anyway. At this, but I just feel like this is gonna sound mad to say in a video. I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna do it all. Not the Mbappe, I'm not saying the Mbappe thing. Don't quote me on that. I just feel like everything is just geared. Like even the subs last night on 60 when he's bringing on players and bringing off players, and I'm going, it's a fucking joke that we can make these changes in a European Cup semi-final with complete confidence in the footballers that are coming on. Everything is geared to winning all four, even Jurgen's fist bumps, by the way, because he does 4 of them now instead of 3. I know what you're up to. I know you do psychology, Jurgen. I know you're watching. And you've got in my head.
Oh dear, absolutely brilliant. Obviously everyone buzzing on the comments. Ian McPhee says, Jurgen is the best signing FSG has made. He is our Shanks, the heart of the soul, hand soul of this fabulous football club. Completely agree with that. Spaniard saying how much he or she loved the post-match show from last night. Listened to it while mowed the lawn this morning. Lawn mowers, big up. It's normally dog walkers, but lawn mowers as well. It's that time. Have you done yours yet? You're fake now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm fake. Oh, mate, let's get on it. You know what? I should be an influencer for the fake grass industry because it's fucking brilliant. I haven't touched a lawnmower in 2 years, John. Incredible. And I also haven't listened to your post-match show yet because I have no grass to cut. I will later. I think on what you said there about him being the heart and the soul of this football club, there'll be a statue for Jurgen Klopp when he leaves. Absolutely. Not just because of what he's achieved so far, but where he's taken us from, where we are now, and where we'll end up whenever he does eventually leave, which is hopefully far, far, far in the future, possibly never.
Tom Minnis here as well. Heard he signed it on the back of his new song. What he's done for this club is just out of this world. And it's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek from Tom there, but it all sort of helps, doesn't it? If you're sort of woman and Ara, then suddenly, you're getting hourly reminders of how much the cop adores you and how much they want you to stay. Like it's all part of the blocks.
You remember the original Jurgen Klopp song? Jurgen Klopp, nah, nah, nah. And he said, I don't want that. He basically told us to stop singing it. He wanted us to sing for the footballers instead. And now it's a Beatles. So I think he just didn't like the tune. I think he was like, that's shite. And now he's hearing the Beatles every match. He's like, yes, we know he likes the Beatles. He's listening, he's thinking, brilliant. I think you're right. Look, he doesn't need a song to tell him how much we love him. He will see that every time he meets a Liverpool fan. He'll hear it every day. But absolutely, things that can help.
It's all positive, isn't it? It's all a wonderful time to be a Liverpool fan, and the Jurgen Klopp news just adds to that. Big beaming smiles on every Liverpool fan's face, and I'm sure you watch it as well. But just to sort of finish up on last night, Craig, obviously, there is the post-match content. Do check out. You can watch the first 5 minutes of the post-match pint for free on YouTube, but everything is on there that you would need from last night. But to reflect on it this morning, I saw a quote from Gilla Balaguer saying he'd spoken to a couple of Villarreal players and they said they were shocked just how hard it was to play against Liverpool. He used the word suffocated, and I think we not necessarily forget that about our team, but when we're watching us with the ball, and we're seeing us sort of pressing and stuff like that. But we're sort of used to it. We watch it every week. To play against that for the first time, I think was a bit of a shock for Villarreal. Really, and they kept trying to play around us, and they were brave on the ball, fair play. But suffocated was the word. That's what we did to them.
It's dizzying. It's dizzying to watch them, isn't it? And it's just relentless. Whether it's in attack and defence, the minute this Liverpool side have lost the football, they're back, and the way they press, it's so intelligent the way they do it. It's not just fucking, but I think you're right. I think one of the things that was interesting about this game in comparison, I watched the Bayern Munich game, and the thing that Villarreal were doing against Bayern were it was these through balls and then they were on the counter, and you didn't see that once last night. They just weren't able to do that to Liverpool, and I think a big part of that's Fabinho. Fabinho last night, I just thought was 10 out of 10. I was just in complete awe of him as a footballer. Everything he did. Thiago as well, the two of them together. Like I tweeted last night saying that I'll be the old fella in the pub in 30 years who will not shut up about Fabinho. In the same way that people talked about Souness and people like that. I just feel like that midfield last night was almost perfect.
Yeah, well, I give a lift home to a guy who works for us he went last night. He's not a Liverpool fan. But he went. And he just said, I just wanted to stay and watch Thiago. Yeah. And he was just the first time he'd seen Thiago in the flesh, and was just saying, I just wanted to stay and watch him. Well, you were in the car as well, weren't you? And that's what he does to you. The first time you see him, I think it's all well and good seeing him on telly, but we get to watch him every week in the flesh, and it is breathtaking.
It's incredible. I'm imagine that shot had gone in, by the way.
Yeah.
He's doing all the things that I hoped Thiago would do, and he's doing things that I didn't realise he would do as well. The way he breaks up play, like I'm talking about Fabinho breaking up play, but there's times where Fabinho will push forward and Thiago drops in and he nicks it from you. Like I've seen so much of that. I think Thiago is one of the best midfielders in the world right now. I know that sounds like a mad thing to say about Thiago Alcantara because we all know that, but I mean on form, the way he's delivering for Liverpool now is just outrageous. Everything he does, it's like a paintbrush, painting something. It looks gorgeous, but it's so effective. It's like style and substance together. And when he signed, we were almost sold this version of like, you're getting this footballer, but like, he's 29, he's 30, like, you might only get a couple of years. Like, is he going to be able to press? Like, how is he? Other players are going to have to do the dirty work from. He's doing the dirty work.
Fucking loves it.
He is. He's all over the place.
Slideys all over the show.
Oh, he's brilliant. The slideys, I love them. He was just outrageous last night again. He's going to be pivotal in helping Liverpool achieve what we want them to achieve this season.
Absolutely. It's fantastic time to be a Liverpool fan. I keep saying it, but it's absolutely true. Get on to the post-match content if you haven't yet. Audio and video is now available online for subscribers, but a great time obviously to subscribe to the Anfield Wrappers. We're going to do loads more. The review is coming out today on last night. We've got Tour Live on these very platforms, whatever platform you're watching now live or catch up, you'll be able to do exactly the same for Tour Live later at 4 o'clock, where there'll be obviously more on the game last night, more on the Jurgen news as it develops hopefully throughout the day. Might have sound by 4 o'clock, Craig. That'll be good.
We didn't talk about Tushimeni, by the way.
Oh, we did a little bit. In terms of a potential addition, but we'll talk a little bit more about that at 4 o'clock as well. Neil did a stat show last year on him, looking at him. He looks absolutely quality.
He looks unreal.
Yeah,
he looks outrageous.
So Paul Joyce there confirming what I think a few of us expected, that that's a very much one that they would love to sort of bring in, but competition is there as well. But obviously looking ahead as well to the Newcastle game on Saturday. It comes thick and fast, but we're putting podcasts out. It feels like every hour. It's not quite, but it might as well be. So make sure you subscribe to the Anfield Wrap, download the app and all that. And have a look at the merch as well. Some fantastic stuff at theanfieldwrap.com/shop. But boss time to be a Red, boss time to lose your kecks. Up the Reds.